Welcome to the third and final movie, and with this one we're going to take the artboards from Photoshop through into XD, Adobe XD. And what you see here is I've got this set up. I can click on anything and we actually just drag out our animations. Great, really easy to use program, and it takes artboards directly into the format. Now what you can do is you can actually even plug your device in and or preview it, and or even share it on the cloud. So if I just go share like so, a little bit out of the screen of the video here, but basically I can just publish this. If I go publish prototype and click on like so, I can actually publish it into the cloud, and then somebody can view it on their devices or in any format they want, even with a full screen version. But I'm just going to create a link, for example. It's just going through and doing a link, sending it to the cloud now, and also giving me a link that I can work with. And at any stage I can work on it and update it as well. So great tool to format. Now just out of view here, I've got an embed link. I can put it into a website to test it. It's just out on the right hand side. But if I just click on copy link here, so I've copied my link, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to the web, for example, and just paste that in. There's the link that it just actually created, and if I just go through and test that, it should load up and provide me on the Adobe servers that same file I'm putting together for essentially anybody to view it. So it's basically just coming in there. It's a little bit large at this size, but I can just drop it down, or I can actually just go and click it here and just go full screen version, and I'll hit the escape key. It just takes it back here, but essentially I've just got my screen reduced down here at the moment, but the whole thing's working, and it's also fully interactive. Okay, so whatever we're doing is going to be formatted for both, so I could even drag it down there and it should just view a little bit better. Okay, so totally functional, and this will work great if somebody wants to view it on their device, and they can just work from the link that you provide them. Now you can even comment and make a comment through here if there's any issues that pertaining to what your client might want or change or do. So a really fantastic tool. So I'm just going to close out of that, and let's go back to this and how do we set it up. Okay, so the first thing, we need to bring in our files. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to close my XD for the moment, and I won't save, I will save this one just so we've got an example here. And what I'm going to do is I am opening a new one here, so I'm just going to go open. And just from the files that I've got here, actually I won't go to my Creative Cloud. You will need to set up a Creative Cloud license for this to work, but initially what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go and open my Photoshop file here. So I've already got one example there, but I'm just going to open this again, and I'm going to open the Photoshop file. You notice it's available to click on, so I'll click on that and I'll just go open. And so it should be just opening up at the moment. All the files have come through just precisely. They're all layered up here for us to work with, and we're good to rock and roll. So how do we go and make this interactive? Now, one thing that's available here to learn all about the program, I'm only covering a very small amount of it, bringing in existing artboards that we've created in Photoshop. This is a great program to create the artboards initially as well. You can also do it from Illustrator. But to learn all about this, you can just go up to the help here and essentially go through and learning and support, what's new, and help, and also all the XD tutorials. So just with all the tutorials here, you can go through and follow those and even mock them up, and also video tutorials as well. So if I just go back and close that, what we want to do in this example is, I'm just going to give you a quick example of how it works. But under here, all the tutorials under the sun, which will enable you to, from video tutorials to examples, to learn all about what you need to do. So, learning in sports is a great one as well. Okay, now I'm not going to spend any more time on that, just getting back to putting this together. Now, just over here, there's a button that we can go into reviewing what our files are doing. So I'm just going to click down here, and as I click on and interact with this, I can, on the Mac anyway, also record a video, record video preview. But all I want to do for now is just see how my buttons work. So I click on any of these, nothing happens. So how do we sort this out? I'm assuming that you've got all your designs sorted, so I'm just going to close this. I'm going to go from my design view. Note here, as I mentioned before, all the tools to do creation. We've already got our stuff created in Photoshop, brought through, or from Illustrator, but I'm going to click on my prototype. And what that enables me to do is, if I just click on this button here, it's my home button. You can see that's my initial home, but I don't want to stay at home. I'm going to click on this button, just double click, so I just get that button only. And I'm going to drag it through to where I want to go, which is the About page. I can choose any way I want to dissolve it and the time frames that I want, the duration, that sort of thing. So that's all available here. I don't want to dissolve it. I want it, in this case, I want it just to slide right. Great. So now I'll go on to my second button, and I'm going to go to my work page. And I want to make sure that that's slide right, staying as what I had before, but can change it to anything. And then my last button over to this page. And also slide right to the context page. You can also use your transitions from here as well. So essentially what I'm going to do is I'm now going to come to this button here. Just double click to access it, and I want to go, oh, I'm on the About page, wrong one. I want to click here and take it back to the home page. And I want to go, this time not slide right, but slide left. And I'm on the About page, I won't worry about that. And I'm going to go this time over to here, which, I want to slide right. So I'll just slide the right to go over to this side. And the same with this button. Okay, slide right. Now, I am not going to go through and test everything because it's so simple to work with, but what I am going to do is just actually preview it up here now. And I'll just go back and just drag it in because I've got a large screen, just to get that fitting. And let's see, great, there's my button state, I didn't have an action on that last page. So what I need to do is, remember, I better put something that goes back, just so I at least get one of those working. So I'll click on here and just double click. I'm going to go to that page and this one back to this page, and just make sure that's on there, and that seems to be working. Anyway, I'll go back and just preview it again and just make sure that's zoomed in to fit. I can just see how it looks on the darker colors there, and then it's working as intended. Now, just to get that working as a video, I'll come back here and I'll just zoom it down a little bit to get that fitting in the space that I want. And I can click the video button. So that's actually recording a video now, and you can actually even see those effects. Okay, so if I go to here, last page, and then I just go and stop the video. And this is going to save just a little video format. I'll just call that app test. And I'll save it to that same folder. I'll just go save, and I'll close that. And I'm just going to minimize my files here. Should be back in here, and here's my little video file. I just open this up, zoom it down here just to fit, and I can just play that video. And it's great when you're showing a client this is how you intend it to work when you're doing your prototype mock-up. So really, really fantastic program, but just a range of ways of working with Acrobat as previous movies, from the initial artboards in Photoshop. So thank you for watching this series.